Welcome to Healers Talk Healing, the podcast where we gather to explore the art and science of holistic healing, uncovering the secrets to a happier, healthier you. I'm your host, Nina Ganguly, and together we will delve into the intriguing world of holistic healing, delving into the mind-body connection, ancient wisdom, and natural remedies. Get ready for enlightening stories, thought-provoking expert interviews, and practical tips that will empower you to unlock your true potential and embrace a vibrant, balanced life. Whether you're an experienced wellness enthusiast or simply curious about the power of healing, join us on this exhilarating journey as we share the wisdom and insights that can truly transform your life. It's time to embark on a voyage towards a happier, healthier you. So, without further ado, let's dive into the captivating world of Healers Talk Healing. Welcome back to Healers Talk Healing. Today's conversation is one that might completely shift how you understand your mind, your habits, and even your experiences day to day. We're joined once again by Chris Pizzarello, a clinical laboratory scientist with over 20 years of experience who transitioned into the world of mind-body healing. With a background in biology, neurology, and biochemistry, Chris now integrates hypnotherapy, emotional freedom technique, and NLP to help people create real lasting change from the inside out. In this episode, we explore how so much of what we do, from stress responses to habits and even pain, is driven by the subconscious mind, and how tools like hypnosis can help interrupt patterns and create new ones. And if you find yourself wanting to go deeper into this work, I invite you to join us inside our Wellness Seekers membership, where these conversations continue through live sessions, community, and ongoing support. So let's get into it.
Today we're going to talk about what are the uses and benefits of hypnotherapy.
Oh, okay. We'll start there.
Because
Let's start there.
we talked about, all the other things, but let's talk about what the uses are and what the benefits are.
Okay.
And that's and it was one of the things that I had mentioned to Lynn. She said, "Well, what could you use for hypnotherapy?" And I said, "Well, I got a list of 127 things we could use it for."
Well, let's talk about that. Chris, we're so excited to have you back for this third session in our series of our introduction into hypnosis and the conversation. And the previous two conversations have been very, very mind-blowing. So if you haven't heard the previous two, you should go listen to them. Listen to them too. Because we're going to get, obviously this is a separate conversation. You don't have to listen to them, but I would highly recommend that you go back and listen to the first two conversations that we've had around this conversation, which is hypnosis. And so, yeah, Chris, we always start playing press record before we even get all formalized. And I'm so happy to have you back. And what are the uses? What do we need to use it for? What can we use it for? How does it actually benefit us?
Well, let's start with what people think about when they think about using hypnotherapist. The first thing that comes to mind for, I'd say, about 70% of your audience is going to be, that person is going to help me quit smoking if I'm a smoker, or somebody I know is going to help somebody I know to quit smoking. And we'll start with this topic because it's some interesting facts. Cold turkey is about 12% success rate. Okay. Gums and nicotine patches are about 7%.
Wow. I didn't realize it was so low.
Yeah. And hypnosis is over 50%.
Oh,
wow.
So what's the difference? And why are the gums and the patches not working? Well, it's the obvious thing. We're still giving you the drug.
Mm.
We're still giving the nicotine. You're still getting all the effects of nicotine. And because of that, you're not making any strides in going and getting out of it. That's the reason why cold turkey works better than the gums and the patches, because you are getting rid of the nicotine. And the facts are, in 36 hours, the nicotine is completely out of your system.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, your body metabolizes nicotine rapidly.
Wow. Okay.
The other things
Huh.
that
I have
last a
a
little bit.
question about, can I ask you about that?
Yes.
I know we're talking about hypnosis, but this is fascinating and I'm going to go down that road. So then when we're looking at smoking, and if we're saying that it metabolizes in 36 hours, then I guess my question is, how do we get addicted? Or when we're not smoking and we've decided, why do we go back?
Well, because it's a known. It's what we know to do. When you're a
Mm,
smoker, you define yourself as a smoker. Think of all the things and rituals you have to do to accomplish smoking. And then now this era, vaping.
hmm
Yes.
You have to have your cigarettes, you have to have a lighter, you have to have ashtrays. There's a place to do it. With vaping, you still got to buy the vape. You got to have batteries for that vape so that it works. Some of them are rechargeable. Got to remember to recharge it, or you can't do it. And it's the action of doing it. And that's a big part of it. It's the action of doing it.
Mm.
We do it, and it's something that we do. And majority of people who smoke or vape, they use it for stress reduction.
I was just thinking that.
But
Yeah.
this is counterintuitive.
Mhm.
Because what happens when we smoke? Nicotine is a vasoconstrictor. It takes the big blood vessels and makes them small. It increases your blood pressure. And when your blood pressure goes up, you start going into a fight or flight mechanism. So how is that
Ah,
reducing your anxiety
yes.
or stress?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
counterintuitive, but
hmm
but this is how we define, and it's kind of like a little lie that a
Hmm.
lot of people tell themselves. There's
Hmm.
so much more, and because of what I do and how I do it, I'm not going to go into everything. And also, this isn't the conversation, but the reason, like we're talking about the reasons why you're going to seek out hypnosis. Quit smoking, quit habits.
Yes.
Mm.
That is, and smoking is a habit. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's think of the habits that we might: pulling hair, biting nails. A lot of those habits people want to get rid of. They're
What about stop
annoying.
eating chocolates?
Stop eating. Oh yeah, yeah, that's another one.
I don't know if I want to stop that habit.
Sorry,
There,
sorry,
there
Chris. Go
okay,
ahead.
but there's positives to eating chocolate. I'm going to back you up on that. Yeah. I'm going to back you up on that. But the other one is weight loss. Weight
Mhm.
loss is a big thing that I see clients for. And, you know, that's a little bit more long term, obviously. You don't lose weight in 2 weeks. You
Mhm.
don't change your diet in 2 weeks. So it's more of an extended period, what, 6 months to a year. But there's a lot of benefit because the habits that you created, remember, you didn't put on that extra 20 pounds in a day. You put it on over in a period of time. And rapid weight loss is not very successful
Mm.
because we're going to rapidly put it back on as soon as we
Of
stop
course.
doing what we're doing.
Hmm.
So part of hypnotherapy for weight loss is learning new habits, gaining new knowns. It's also about diet, nutrition, and these other things. And this is when I bring in people who are experts on that, on diet and nutrition. I have some expertise in it, but I bring in other people because it's good for the client. They have other voices and they get to choose what they like to eat and how they're going to do it. Because most people, it's not the everyday things that they eat, right? Unless they have a really terrible diet and they're going to McDonald's every day.
Oh.
If you got a really terrible, if you're addicted to fast food, well, we got a whole nother issue we're talking about. But if you're talking about how'd you put on that 20, well, I sat in front of the TV set. I had a half a bag of potato chips.
Mm.
Every night I sit down and I have a piece of cake or 5 cookies. Did you need all those cookies? And so we don't take away all the cookies. We take away some of the cookies. Okay, you can't have 5, you can have 2. And when we start building better habits, and then when we start examining it, we say, do we need the cookies? Do we need the half a bag of chips?
Mm.
And of course, with any weight loss program, there's always the idea that there's got to be movement involved, right? We're going to increase activity in a responsible, intelligent way. We're not going to tell you to go run a marathon. But we'll tell you, hey, if you've got an opportunity to park a little bit further away when you're going to the grocery store and walk a little extra, take a lap around the block. Obviously not when it's negative 40 degrees.
Well, I don't know. You can bundle enough.
Well,
Depends on who you are.
Listen, that's what malls are for, ladies.
That's true. That is true. Yes.
And a lot of people, if you're in that scalding heat or that freezing cold, go to the mall early in the morning, take that walk. That extra. We're not talking about hours and hours. We're talking about a little bit of movement, a little bit of exercise, a little bit of getting in touch with your body, because that's really what that, weight loss is about, getting in touch with your body, what functions for your body, what makes you healthy, what makes you think best. And I think that's important too. It's about the thinking. So what else is hypnotherapy really effective with? And I'm going to pull the curtain back from Mighty Oz. Okay? Hypnotherapy is about 2 things. It's about anxiety, stress reduction, and confidence.
Okay.
2 sides of a coin. We have the one side of the coin, which is my stress, my anxiety. The other side of the coin is my confidence. And you cannot point to a single person who does not have stress or anxiety and does not have lack of confidence in some realm.
That's fascinating because
it is.
I know, but I think we live in our Western world. That's all I can speak about because that's where I live. The majority of my time. It makes sense, stress and anxiety, but the self-confidence, honestly, I think there's this part of me that's like, well, they have it, but I might not have it.
Yeah, and in that same vein is the self-love.
Yes.
So it's easier for you to be confident in yourself before you love yourself, if you get what I mean.
Yes. Yes, of course.
No. I want to say more about that, sir. Say more about it.
Say more about it, but it makes sense. It does make sense when you are confident and you're certain. I think of confidence as certainty, and what you're doing, who you are, then it's easier then to take the next step to love yourself. And I'll use the word appropriately.
Yes, exactly. Now, we talk about also hypnosis and hypnotherapy for sports performance. But where is that linking into? Confidence.
Got it.
And anxiety.
Ah,
So these things, we talk about it for sexual health,
Mm.
mm,
both men and women. And what do we have when we're with the partner? Especially a new partner, maybe even a partner you've been with for an extended period of time. There may come times when you're having stress in your life that will prevent you from being open and being
Mm.
yourself, and allowing a positive experience to happen,
mm,
and it could be also that lack of confidence, especially for men who are suffering from, ED or PE,
PE.
premature.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
it's okay to say the words. We're grown-ups here.
Yes.
Yes, but
We are grown-ups here having our conversations.
It's an
but
education for everyone.
when we think about it, and we don't think about, you know that part of it. There's also the
Mm.
also the part of it of being comfortable, confident, and moving forward in your career,
Mm,
because people hold themselves back in their career. Whether it's they're a lawyer, they're a nurse, or maybe they're an accountant, or maybe they're a paralegal, and they see themselves as a lawyer, but they're afraid to take that step.
mm,
Or maybe they're working in some business and they want to move up the next rung. Well, how do you get there? Well, if you don't see yourself in a confident way, you don't project in a positive manner, it's very difficult for people to see you that way. If you're
mm,
always looking down,
mhm.
not speaking up at meetings, not being able to communicate, even not talking to the boss. How do
Um,
you how do you get that raise? How do you get that promotion? So coming from a place of confidence and being able to express yourself the way you visualize yourself, and that's an important term. Visualizing yourself, what you feel you should be. That's really huge. And that's where there's the blockage in the subconscious mind. And this is where hypnotherapy comes in huge, where
Mm.
we can really make changes. Another powerful place is in family relationships, because
Okay.
maybe you don't have a good relationship with your mother, father, sister, brother.
mm,
There may be reasons why this is happening. And figuring out where you fit inside the family system is so important. And it's so vital to who you are. It's something you wouldn't think about. Hey, hypnotherapy would have help that. But really, this is a thing that a lot of people suffer with. They suffer with this thing that's behind the door when they walk in their house, where they're supposed to be the most comfortable, where they're supposed to be the most confident, that they're supposed to feel the most loved, and they're not.
mm,
I find this so
mm,
fascinating.
mhm,
So yeah, that's another huge one.
mm,
It's huge. And you don't really think about that. So my it was brought to me a long time ago, when I first started in doing hypnotherapy sessions. I took a class on how to do the session, the first sessions, and how to sell yourself a little bit. And one of the
Mm.
things that they said is like there's 127 things that hypnosis can help you with. And they gave us a list, and it's kind of vast, but I'll amend that, because I think that everybody can benefit from it in the way that they need it. And it can help almost everything if you find a place where you're lacking. And you can't tell me that you're not lacking, because everybody needs that little bit of help. Some people get it from their best friend, their brother, their mom, the coworker who sits in the next cubicle, that they're able to talk to and like kind of vent and kind of like let it out. But venting is just a blow off of steam, right? And you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you be able to do if you didn't have that buildup that you had to blow it off, that you could release it and yet hold on to it? And that's where I think that this work is so powerful, because everybody can learn to do this for themselves. And part of what I do in my practice is give my clients the tools that they need to continue in their life, so that, okay, they may come back to me in a year and say, hey, I need a tune up. But when they're done, they have the tools that they need, that they can manage your life on a daily.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, life is like a roller coaster, right? So,
Mhm.
my brain is like, okay, what else can you use it for? What else can you use it for? I'm
Yeah,
like,
well, many things.
127 inquiring minds want to know what those 127 things are.
Okay, I got a really good one. Okay, and this is an epidemic in this society:
Mm.
pain management.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yes,
that. Yeah,
yes,
the big
absolutely.
one.
It is
Hmm.
huge, because doctors want to give a pill.
Hmm.
Right.
And we've proven through the placebo effect that if you believe that something is a medicine, a powerful medicine, it will act on your body that it is that medicine.
Hmm.
And let's look at the painkillers that we have over the counter and the negative side effects of them. Well, acetaminophen, which I just heard a podcast the other day, 1 in 4 people are taking acetaminophen on a daily,
Hmm. I
on,
just heard that too.
on a daily basis. And not only that, but it's poison.
Ah.
It is it is one of the highest, oh, it is the highest over the counter med that people OD on.
Oh, Dion?
Really?
OD.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
6 times the therapeutic dose will OD.
Ah, okay. Does it
Mm.
does it have to also do with the buildup of toxins or something in the system that then creates this whole reaction?
No, no,
No?
because it's
Okay.
an overwhelm of the liver. The liver can only
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
metabolize at a certain rate. And if you get
Okay.
past that rate, there's too much in the system. It's really. And then I heard another study just this morning talking about how acetaminophen leads to people being antisocial.
Oh, whoa.
Well, that's one I'd like to yeah, dive into and look
That
at
was
that.
Exactly.
that blew me away. And let's examine, what does acetaminophen really do? It's in the brain pathway. It's going into the amygdala, and it's kind of fooling you that the pain's not there. Not really
Mm.
taking the pain away. I mean, pain, to numb a pain, it's always canes, right? We got the lidocaine, we got the
All right.
promptocaine, we got the cocaine. They're all canes. They're all numb,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So acetaminophen doesn't take the only fools your body into there's no, or less pain or no pain.
Oh.
It doesn't actually take away pain.
That's fascinating. But it also
Okay.
makes sense. And one of the questions I wanted to ask, or maybe clarifications when you were saying how you think about yourself or how, see
Mm-hmm.
with your habits. And then you just spoke about the placebo effect and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
It also just, in my mind is so developing your mind using hypnosis, but then strengthening how you see yourself, what you say to
Mm-hmm.
yourself, the kind of
Yes.
person you believe you are,
Mm-hmm.
and how you go about your daily lives and routines. Doing that can completely shift you.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%. And I have something else I could talk about, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
I want to stick on this pain thing.
All right.
Yes.
Because the other thing that's going on in the world is the opiate addiction.
Mm.
Yes.
And we give opiates and they're supposed to be painkillers. But really all they are mind numbers.
Ah.
You think about it. Now there is an actual pathway for opiates in the brain. Right? We have a metabolic pathway, how we understand opiates when we take them. But we know that at a certain point, let's say you've had a tooth extracted, they give you some opiate. They'll give you some Vicodin. They'll give you some trying to think of some of the other some Oxycontin.
Mhm.
Um, okay, when you take one, the pain's not really gone. You just don't care that the pain's there.
Ah, I
Hmm.
see.
You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
if you think about it, does the
Okay.
pain really go away? Nah, you just don't care.
All
Okay.
right.
But let's say it's something that's more more happening every day. It's chronic, like a knee that's deteriorating,
Mm-hmm.
and you start taking opiates for it. Well, the first week you take one pill, and one pill kind of gets you through, and then you need two pills, and three pills, and four pills, and five pills. So it does not. There is the threshold keeps getting higher and higher and higher because
Mhm.
our reactivity to it gets lower and lower and lower and lower.
Mhm. Mhm.
And at a certain point, now we hit the addiction stage. And now you can't do without it, or if you do without it, you get sick.
Mm.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And does anybody want that?
Of course not.
No,
No.
But
we don't
that,
want that. But can you think about this? And this is a fact, okay? And we work with this. Before we do anything about using the placebo effect inside of hypnosis, just the fact of hypnotizing somebody can reduce their pain 30%.
hmm. And that's actually reducing the pain, not numbing the mind to
Not
think the
numbing the mind,
pain's
but
not
because
there.
your mind
Yes.
is in a certain in a different space where it's more connected and more inside the subconscious. Subconscious is monitoring, but it's not trying to amplify. We
Mm.
when we get the message, thinking about the pain message that you have back pain.
Mhm.
Do you have back pain where it goes, it's like 1 minute and then it goes away? No, it's pain, 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 pain. The message just
I
keeps
can do
coming.
that.
The message just keeps coming. It doesn't
Yes.
stop. But if you break the message, the pain reduces.
Mm. Okay.
And I was early in my career working with a friend who was pregnant, and she had a pregnancy plan. I'm going. I'm going to get an epidural. I
Mm.
said, okay, fine. Let's try hypnosis. So we practiced. We did about weeks of practice.
That's good.
And then when she went into labor, she called me on the phone because we had this rapport, because she knew what was going to happen. We put her in trance. When the pain was at the maximum, she said, okay, I'm ready for my epidural. And the doctor said, no, it's time to push.
Mm-hmm.
So she got all the way to the end
Mm-hmm.
without the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And any woman who's had childbirth, majority will say this is the worst pain that they've ever felt in their life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can imagine having a blessed birth without the pain.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Without the epidural.
Without the epidural, yeah. The epidural was dangerous.
Yes.
It's dangerous
Mm-hmm.
because the doctor could miss. You could move. There could be complications. Maybe they don't give you enough anesthesia. Maybe they give you too much.
Too much, yeah. Whatever it is,
Yeah,
yes.
so
Mm-hmm.
you'd like to go do this without this complication. It's fascinating. And this is why I say pain management is one of the things that hypnosis can be so powerful for. And a lot of times, especially with pain in the body,
Mm-hmm.
that pain, even though it shows up, I have 2 herniated discs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you never lifted a heavy weight. You weren't in a car accident. How did you get those 2 herniated discs? And this is the simple truth, and it's ugly. You did it to yourself.
Okay.
Now it's ugly, and I hate to say it, but it's the
No, but
truth.
so elaborate on
Mm-hmm.
So
on that.
this is the concept. The mind can only hold so much at a time. Even though it records and it's this magical supercomputer, it gets to a limit. There is a limit on what it can take in at any time. And when it hits that limit, it takes whatever stress, whatever negative feelings, whatever trauma,
Mm-hmm.
and it puts it in the body. Because the body's strong, the mind is not strong.
Okay.
And it's always going to put it in the weakest part of your body. So notice when you feel anxious, maybe you feel it in your stomach, maybe you feel it in your back, maybe you feel it in your neck, maybe you feel it in your arms, maybe you feel it in your hips. There's going to be a place that you're putting that energy. So let's say the person's putting it in their back, and I always think of it like this: you're getting the back pain. It's a knock. There's a problem. Hello, take care of it. Okay, but you don't, because you can pop 2 Advil and power through.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then a week later, knock gets a little louder. Hello, we got a problem here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep not paying attention to the knock, where it's telling you, hey, there's something we need to address, and we're not addressing it, eventually the part that's the weak part of your body, wherever it is, will break down. It will go from ease to disease.
That makes so much sense. As you say that, I think about some of the injuries that I've had, and in every single case with both my knees and my pelvic area, it's there were different circumstances that happened that made me so angry. I was so out of balance. I was so clear that I wasn't myself. And I go to step or to do something, but I have all this energy, and then bam. And then it's like, oh boy, I tore that, I pulled that, but it does not happen unless I have that,
Yeah,
you
you gotta have that buildup of tension, of that
know.
energy that you're storing somewhere,
Hmm.
and it gets really bad because there are people who can give themselves cancer.
Yeah,
Ah,
I've heard that.
yeah.
This is one of the things I wanted to ask before we get into that conversation about how we make ourselves sick, which is okay. So the scenario is, yeah, you have the herniated discs and you've got the back pain, and let's say now it's gone beyond Advils and you have to go for whatever, the surgery or physiotherapy or whatever uh prescription I guess you have to take. Now, if you just do that and you don't address what that root cause is, because I believe the same thing you believe. I believe that the majority of our pains that we have, especially if we're young and we're not, gone through wear and tear as adults and into our older years, um, how how do you discover? How do you discover that? Wait a minute, I did all this and it's come back. And how do we begin to discover that it's it's beyond just so that's a symptom of a root cause. Maybe that's a different conversation for us to get out there in the world. Us, and that's what we're talking about here is going to the
Mhm.
place that where that has started from. What do we do as the healing community to help people understand that you have a headache? That headache is a symptom of something else.
Hmm. Yeah, this is it's a difficult conversation to have with your client
Mm.
because the client, unless they're uh, of a certain age, let's say they're above retirement age, I'm saying that because and that's not a limit, but a lot of people think they're invincible.
Mm.
Ah, yes.
They walk around with nothing can hurt me. I'm invincible. And they carry it from their teens to their 20s to their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. And then something.
60s, 80s,
Yeah, well,
90s.
we would like that to be that invincible complex forever, but the facts are there is a place in our mind that we know we are not invincible. We
Hmm.
know this. This is a fact. And that's the convincing part is like, and the hard discussion is, hey, you're doing this to yourself. This is a really hard discussion to have with clients to say that, you know, that self-sabotage.
Yes. Hmm.
And people don't want to believe
Hmm.
unless they of that mindset, because there are people, believe me, there are people of the mindset, I self-sabotage all the time. And that's a whole different conversation. Those people are easier to work with, believe it
Mhm.
or not, because those are the ones that have already come to the conclusion, hey, I'm having this self-sabotage. Well, that means that you're ready to work on it, right?
Hmm.
But if you come to me with, I have pain in my shoulder, and the doctor goes and initially there's nothing there. It's just pain, right? But there's nothing there. You didn't try to swing an axe so hard that you ripped your shoulder. You didn't hit it against something. All these things that you could think of, all the scenarios where you have actual physical injury. Because look, actual physical injury exists, and that's what Western medicine is for.
Mm.
Western medicine is for repairing actual injuries. I do not want to go see a hypnotherapist to fix my broken ankle. I'm
Yeah.
going to an orthopedist.
I'm
Hmm.
glad that you said that just for those who are listening.
Hmm.
Just in case you think, okay.
However, getting from the place where I broke my ankle to the hospital to getting casted, yeah, I might want to see a hypnotherapist to tell me, don't pay attention to that ankle. You're not going to put any pressure on it, but there's no pain there.
Mm.
The pain is in it doesn't exist. It's numb. And even though you don't see it, I've taken the Novocaine that the doctor would put in extract the tooth into your ankle, and it's numb, and you could feel nothing but some pressure.
This is really interesting. And of course, as you're talking, my first thought was, where were you when I was running in the airport to catch a plane and I tore my meniscus and ACL?
But you had a physical injury there. Remember, we look. We look at athletes. Athletes have physical injuries all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you could think of so many, and of course, they had this invincible thing going on in their head. I can never be hurt. Otherwise, they wouldn't be those physical athletes, right?
Mm.
But it's a foot getting stuck a little bit because maybe it's a little wet, or the shoe slipped a little bit and then the torquing. That physical injury, we're never going to, again, the hypnotherapist is not going to help you with that. Going to help you with the pain and the confidence to get back on that repaired joint. Right? To have the confidence to say, I'm healed now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to baby it all the time, because it's gonna, every time I walk, it's going to hurt. Or every time I try to lift something, there's going to be pain. And that pain is phantom. It's not real. It's not real. It's something we're creating. Why? To protect ourselves.
Yes, of course, yes, and I do have a tendency to do that with one of the injuries.
And it's natural. When you think about it, it's a natural reaction. We want to protect ourselves. That's what the subconscious mind's job is. Protect Nina, protect Lynn, protects Chris. We're going to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, and it works, because I'm not going to go jump off a 5-story building just to experience the fall.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, no, most people won't.
No, but I'm just bringing it up because it's like, hey, that might be fun. 3 seconds of free fall.
Yeah, well, get a parachute. That's all I can say.
Get a parachute, right? Yeah. But I'm saying, we're going to protect ourselves. We're going to do what's going to do to make ourselves stay safe.
It's, I have a visual as soon as you said that, like we're our own Secret Service. You know what I mean? The subconscious mind, it's like the Secret Service. Always like, okay, watching out for danger, making sure that we're safe.
100%.
Every moment.
Oh, 100%. And that's the important part. We want and need to keep ourselves safe. And we have this overriding thing. We're going to stay safe. We're going to be safe. We're going to do everything to keep ourselves safe. But when safety is prohibiting us from living,
yes,
this is a place where we need some sort of therapy.
Yeah, because I was just gonna say, Chris, that there's those people who don't feel safe. They don't even know how to, connect to that safety. And I'm talking more people, with some severe trauma and things that they've experienced where life hasn't been safe. And the way they behave or act is a result of that.
And people will have their own mechanisms inside of that, right? How they recover from whatever was not safe, right? And I'm not revealing anything, but this is a common thing, so I'm not stepping over any lines or divulging on any clients. You're in a car accident, and maybe you're bruised, but you're not hurt. Maybe your car is totaled. Do you want to go on that same road? The next time you drive, do you want to go on that same road?
Typically not. I do
Right. And so
in that scenario, but
what happens
typically
if
not.
it's,
Yeah.
let's say it's on the highway that you use every day to go to work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you avoid that highway and now you have to take an extra 45 minutes to get to work?
No.
I don't know. Some people do. Like,
Okay. Yeah, that was saying. I'm like, he's
And
in my
this
That's
is
exactly what
this is a
happened.
place where the subconscious mind is keeping you safe. If I
mm,
don't go on that road, I won't get in a car accident.
That makes sense.
And then this can snowball.
Hmm.
Well, that road's dangerous, but also that road too, because you driving 50 or 70 on this road, so that one's dangerous. Or, oh, there's always buses on this road, so that one's dangerous.
Mm, mm, mm.
There's always trucks on this road, that one's dangerous.
mm-hmm.
And then you start, I mean, again, not divulging anything, but people start planning routes, how to avoid certain roads, certain places to
Hmm.
keep themselves safe.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And is that when the subconscious is just taking over so much? It's literally, well, it does run our life. Our subconscious does run
Yes,
our
it
life,
does.
but this what you're describing to me sounds like it's over protecting to the
Mm-hmm.
extent, like you said, when you're not able to live your life,
Yeah,
then that's where the challenges are.
yeah, and this can go further. You could say, well, it's dangerous to leave the house.
I was just thinking,
Yes, I was thinking about the
the same thing.
agoraphobia.
The
Yes.
agoraphobia.
Yeah, and that has so many different roots in it. There's so many different things that happen to bring somebody to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And it is not a good place to be for the people who experience it. And when they're able to make their way out, go back into society, because let's face fact, we're humans. We want to interact with other humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We need to interact with other
Mm-hmm.
humans.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
if the only thing you have is the four walls, then you're not living.
No. And
And
actually, wouldn't it cause a person to go even, your world becomes smaller and smaller until you're so much in your head
Mm-hmm.
and in your mind that you're frozen,
yeah,
really.
it's very true. It's very true. One of the people that I follow in the and side quest a little bit here, but promoting my other specialty of emotional freedom technique.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we say is that everything that we define ourselves as and that we've experienced is written in our walls.
Mm,
It's on the wall, the four walls we surround us with. Now that could be a closet or it could be a palace,
Mm.
mm.
right? And we can erase the things that we no longer want. Because remember that what's life is about is I like this, I don't like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Right? It is how we define. We don't have those juxtapositions. How do we understand our world?
Oh, of course. Okay,
So, so
everything is,
when we can
yes.
say, I no longer need to protect myself by staying in the house, brace that off the wall, doors open up. Because it
Mm.
could be a gilded cage, or it could be the whole world is your paradise.
Hmm. Hmm.
You get to choose, you get to understand, you get to create it. But you have to take steps to be able to get rid of what no longer serves you.
Hmm.
And
And this is
that's the challenge, right? Is the willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. Because many people are very conscious of what's not serving them.
Oh,
right?
yes.
But
Yes.
knowing doesn't always make the difference.
No,
Well,
there's the comfort zones.
well,
Yes.
I'll tell you what another one of my teachers. I've been blessed. I've had a number of mentors, and one of the things that she said was, "We come into this world, and they give us a little red wagon, and from the day we're born, we start putting stuff in our little red wagon, and we drag it along with us everywhere we go." And it gets heavy with stuff. The wheels start squeaking, and then they get squared off, and we have this railroad wagon that's going around, ka-chunk, 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 and we're dragging it. And when somebody goes to take something out of that railroad wagon and say, "Hey, you don't need this," no, that's mine. Do not take that
Yes,
away from
yeah.
me. That's mine. That's mine.
Yeah.
And the convincing of the subconscious mind to say, "Hey, that doesn't serve you. You can take it out of the wagon, you can leave it on the side of the road, you can get the burden off of you.
Mm.
You don't need to be burdening yourself with this red wagon full of stuff that doesn't mean anything."
Well, isn't then that the using the red wagon as the metaphor, isn't that the comfort zone and the yeah, I guess, yeah, for comfort,
Yeah,
for
but
ease, whatever the mind
but
subconscious is telling
I'll
you.
say this, Lynn, and I agree with you, but then there's comforting things, right? You want a special pair of pajamas that makes you feel soft and comfortable and easy to go to sleep. You want that duvet that's just feels the right weight on you when you're going to sleep. Those are comfort things. I want that meal that makes me feel warm on a midwinter's night.
Hmm.
But I don't want to have ice cream when it's -40.
Well, I was just gonna say, but that pint of ice cream at night sounds
Yeah, but I'm outside. I'm outside, and I'm bundled up. Doesn't
doesn't
really
matter how
work. I
cold
mean,
it is. That pint of ice cream always works.
but you get what I'm saying. There's stuff that
Yes.
we don't need, right?
Mhm. They just
You
don't
know,
work.
yeah. I mean, and we all have our things, and
Mhm.
I can bet there's something that in your house. I'm guilty. Guilty that you've had for the last 30 years.
Uh,
You're gonna find something. There's
Not
gonna be
I.
something.
Do I have anything?
does the baby book count?
Yes.
Do your kids count?
No, that doesn't count. But a sock from when they were a baby counts. But a sock from when they were a baby counts.
Oh, then yes, I do have
Yeah, or like in the baby
Mhm.
books. Yeah, yeah,
Or a
okay.
pair of their shoes when they were too young to even walk in them.
Yeah, and they
Yes.
have no interest in them whatsoever.
Right. But they're your stuff, right?
Mhm.
Do you need it? Do you have an emotional attachment to it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Are you going to get rid of it?
No.
No. No, you're
It's
going to
history
move.
for the kids. It's whatever.
You're
We come up with all the excuses and
going
reasons.
you're going to move, and you're going to take it with you.
I'm
Right? And
laughing
then
because that's exactly what I did.
it's the facts. There is stuff that we have emotional attachments to. We have no need for them. We keep them around because there's positive emotional content in it,
Mm,
Mhm.
right? But then there's other stuff that we keep around unwittingly here
Mm.
that we don't need,
hmm
that we should be getting rid of. Because, like I said in another podcast, we start learning from the day that we're born. They didn't give us an instruction manual. Gave us a body, no instruction manual.
It's true.
We had to
Weird.
figure this out, right? We had to figure it out.
Yeah.
So there's stuff that we learned really early that doesn't serve us anymore because that was the 5-year-old, that was the 8-year-old. That's not the informed adult.
Mm.
Mm. And then it's the informed adult also now informing the infant that
Mhm.
doesn't, there's this like that
Doesn't
pattern
understand.
that keeps happening. And I could just see how, interrupting patterns is what I'm hearing throughout all of this, is just interrupting these
Mm-hmm.
subconscious patterns that we run in our minds. We don't know. It's like, you know, you get home from work and you think to yourself, did I run any red lights? How did I
Ah.
get home? How did that happen? How on earth did I get home and I didn't run any red lights? Because my subconscious mind is driving me home, and the other part of my mind is like, I don't know. There are many times
What
The
am I
pretty
making for
flowers and
dinner?
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
on the way home. It's funny because my son asked me that the other day. He said, Mama, are there times that you get home and you think, did I run that red light? I said, I've been driving since I was 16. I have thought about that many, 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 many times. And I think that, you know, as we round up the conversation, what's
Mhm.
coming to me, and like my final thoughts, and I'll ask yours and I'll ask you, Lynn, as well, is that the greatest gift of hypnosis is that pattern interruption, the
Mhm.
patterns that don't work, that don't allow us to feel free and peaceful and fully self expressed. That's what I have actually gotten. What I've gotten is these are how patterns get built, and then how they don't serve you and then no longer serve you. And, or maybe they never served you. There were somebody else's patterns that
Right.
were imprinted on you
Mhm.
in a
Mhm.
time, in a space and time, and that there is there is freedom on the other side, and hypnosis is one of the pathways
Mhm.
Oh,
to get
yes, and it's not the only one. I'm going to say this is not the only one. And I'll add to you, you're correct. The pattern interrupt is one of the major mechanisms that we use. It's also the pattern creation.
there.
Because remember, we talked about how there's two sides to everything, the juxtaposition.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So the pattern interrupt is what we want to accomplish for things that no longer serve us. But what about we want to create new pathways?
Mm.
Someone comes and says, I want to save more money. It's a new positive pattern. We have to pattern creation goes on the other side of pattern up interrupt.
Mm.
Okay. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has been a lot to take in, and not only today. Every session, every podcast that we've done with you, Chris, has been, oh wow, oh, oh, and that, and didn't know this, and so this has been absolutely incredible. And I'm looking at what I use as what I call excuses not to do things, and understanding it better. Like, I used to be a dancer. I was a dancer for 20 years. I danced every single day. I danced for a ballet company. And I don't exercise and I don't move now because I realize my subconscious mind is constantly telling me that I'm going to injure my legs. And
Mm.
that's because I had so many injuries when I was dancing. And I still use that today when I know I need to get my butt up and start moving more. I was going to say something else, but and, and start moving more. And then, I think about, well, what else am I using all these, have excuses for? And the way the subconscious mind is trying to, use those excuses to protect, to, guard, safeguard. When,
Mhm.
okay, we know it's BS.
Mhm.
And so now it's just time to quit it. just
That's right.
quit it.
Yeah.
I think it's so the conversations have been so powerful. And what's even more exciting about this lead up is that we're going to get to have some conversation about this live.
Mhm.
And, if you are listening to this before May the 17th, 2026, I am inviting you to join Chris and myself and Lynn, just Chris mostly. I'll be in the background. Lynn will be in the background. We're just going to support Chris. But he's
Yes.
going to spend like 90 minutes talking to you about hypnosis and giving you a deeper understanding, and also providing some examples, a space to ask questions, maybe even you yourself out there who wants to know what it could feel like to have that type of experience. I am really, really inviting y'all to come in. We have the link below in our show notes. We have information on our website, but register today. Don't wait. We have limited spaces, because we have limited time. We have limited spaces and limited time to have this conversation more live as a viewer. I mean, we're very lucky. I can call Chris anytime.
That's true.
It's true. Conversations. But for those of you who unfortunately don't get the same access that we do, I really implore you to, check this out for yourself and get to have this conversation live with Chris on the 17th of May. And I believe that's 2 p.m. Pacific time,
yes,
and 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
thank
you
too, Lynn.
Just been absolutely incredible. And also know that if you, for everyone out there, check out our Miracles Wellness membership. Mm-hmm. And when we gather together, it's a let's get together gathering. Then Chris will be there, and you'll also be able to ask him questions that way as well. But first, you need to check out his workshop.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. However you came on via watching or listening.
One more thing you forgot.
Yes. Oh no!
That you can find me on the Miracle as a Healing Hero.
Yes,
outside the Miracles directory.
Yeah,
and you can book sessions with me.
Absolutely.
That's a very important thing we missed out. Thank you, Chris, for reminding us.
Thank you, Chris.
You have to wait for this live workshop, and you're what's the word? You're chomping at the bit to get in touch with Chris. Please, yes, go on our site. Go look at the directory, type in Chris's name. There's also a link to Chris right in the show notes that you can get to him directly.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And until next time, everyone, thank you so much for joining us in this conversation for Healers Talk Healing. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today on Healers Talk Healing. We hope you've been inspired and empowered on your holistic healing journey. If you've enjoyed today's episode and want to continue learning and growing with us, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, and review our podcast. Your feedback and support mean the world to us. Remember, healing is a lifelong journey, and you have the power to transform your life in profound ways. Stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop believing in your own capacity for healing.